For decades, Western powers have treated Africa like a project, a playground for their interests, a pawn on their chessboard. The continent's resources have been exploited, its leaders manipulated, and its people sacrificed in battles they never asked to fight. But something is changing. In the heart of West Africa, one man is rewriting the rules. Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso is the only current African leader who's not just resisting the West, he's outsmarting them. In a world where alliances are shifting and power plays are rampant, Traore has become a symbol of defiance and strategy. But how exactly is he doing it? Let's start with something that happened not in Burkina Faso, but in neighboring Mali. Mali, like most of the Sahel, has been under siege, attacked by jihadist groups, and more recently, by well-armed Tuareg rebels. A few months ago, a horrifying assault by the Tuareg rebels left the country reeling. In over 3 days of fighting, 84 Russian mercenaries and 47 Malian soldiers were unalived. It was a very heavy loss, but then something unexpected happened. Ukrainian military intelligence spokesperson Andriy Usov went live on national TV and admitted that Ukrainian forces had provided intelligence to the Tuareg rebels, not hinted, not speculated, just admitted. Why? Not because they had anything against Mali. Their target was the Wagner Group, the Russian fighters assisting Mali's military. In their attempt to strike Russia, they knowingly sacrificed 47 African soldiers, and they didn't care. And here is the part that should make every African leader think. If Ukraine is this bold about intervening and sacrificing African lives publicly, what do you think other powers like France and the US are doing behind the scenes? Africa is definitely a battlefield of foreign interests and its people just pawns. But amidst all these, one man has disrupted the board, Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Since taking power in 2022, Traore has been fighting a war on two fronts, a war against terrorism and a war against a narrative built to destroy him. Western media keeps repeating the same tired line that insecurity in Burkina Faso has worsened since French troops left, that Traore is reckless and his army incompetent. But they don't tell you the other side of the story. On the ground, Burkinabe forces are reclaiming territories. Towns that were once no-go zones are back under government control. Families that had fled are returning, the morale is up, and the country is slowly healing. But why isn't this making global headlines? Because admitting that Traore's strategy is working will mean acknowledging a harsh truth that France, after decades in the Sahel, achieved far less. Traore understood the problem clearly. The military was never meant to win. For years, soldiers were sent into battle poorly trained, poorly equipped, and even poorly fed. Some carried rusty rifles, others lacked boots, their camps were in shambles. And Traore knew you can't win a war like that. So he began rebuilding, not just with weapons, but with dignity. One of his first moves was deeply symbolic. Improve soldier welfare, better food, better housing, better conditions. Traore didn't just talk about it, he walked the talk, joining troops on the front lines. But he also knew morale alone wouldn't stop bullets. So he broke free of Western control and struck deals with new partners. Russia, China, Rwanda, Mali and Niger. No strings attached, no manipulation. And the results are stunning. In a public ceremony led by Traore and his defense minister, Burkina Faso unveiled a brand new arsenal from China. Armored vehicles, self-propelled motors, heavy weapons, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. And that was just the first of 5 consignments. And even more surprising, no foreign aid was involved. No IMF loans, no USAID handouts, no French strings. That was a full-scale strategic rearmament plan, funded and executed by Burkinabe hands. Back in March 2023, Traore had already made moves under the radar. He approved a $415 million military upgrade, securing drones, fighter jets, heavy artillery, and troop carriers. The source of the weapons remains confidential, but insiders say they were deployed almost immediately and it worked. Today, Burkina Faso has reclaimed 70% of the territory once held by terrorists, a result France never managed to achieve in all its years of military presence. Captain Traore isn't just building an army, he's building a message that Burkina Faso is done being a puppet, that African nations can govern, protect, and provide for themselves without begging for handouts or permission. His strategy is simple but revolutionary. Respect the soldiers, equip them properly, stop relying on foreign powers, and take back control, and it's working. While Western powers plot and panic behind closed doors, Traore stands tall, leading by example with vision and courage. The real question now is, will the rest of Africa follow? If this message inspired you, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into Africa's rising leaders. What do you think of Captain Ibrahim Traore's bold strategy? Is Africa finally waking up? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. See you on the next one.